We have a talk from the user perspective. We are very grateful that Jónína Sigurðardóttir will come here and share her experiences as a user of mental health services. Welcome, Jónína.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm going to tell you about my story in a very few words, because everybody wants a break for coffee, right? When I was 14 years old, happened, sorry. There was a life event, that happened to me that, had a lot of influences on me. And I was about 16 years old when I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, which, was really difficult at 16 years old because I did not know what that meant. And I had, these ideas in my head, what it meant to be mentally ill, which was, mainly from movies and, the TV. There wasn't as much social media as is now, but I had an idea in my head, and I did not fit into that because I was not that crazy. When I was 18 years old, 2 or 3 months after I turned 18, my doctor, my psychiatrist, got sick, which had a really big impact on my life. He was, kind of a rock to me. The best man I've ever known. He's okay though, it sounds like he died, but he didn't. We had, The treatment that I had with him was, mainly based on medication, but he said to me the first time that I saw him, if you're gonna be treated, by me, if you're gonna take medication that I prescribe, you will also have to talk to somebody, a professional. It's not okay just to take drugs and, things will not just go away. But when he was got sick, when I was 18, I needed a new prescription to take my medication. And I did not know where to turn, so I went to the hospital. When I got there, they took an interview, I talked to them a little bit, and they said to me, "I'm sorry, you're not going anywhere." And I did not know what that meant. So I was admitted, like I said, 2 or 3 months after turning 18. I did not understand what was going on. I was scared. I did not fit into, the idea that I had in my head. I was really, scared about going, into, and I was supposed to sleep somewhere that, a lot of crazy people. I was also really confused. I did not know what my rights were. I did not know, could I go? Was I supposed to be there? Was I, would they just, give me a shot and drag me somewhere if I didn't, comply, if I didn't do what they told me to do? I did not get any information about if I was allowed to have visitors or anything like that. And, the first thing I did was call my mom to get here now, because nobody explained to me what was going on. And that was also embarrassing, because I thought that people were looking at me like I was crazy and that I all of a sudden didn't have any control of my life. While I was hospitalized, my story is similar to a lot of people, unfortunately. I was taking medication before I went to the hospital. I was taking, I think like 50 milligrams of SSRI, and all of a sudden they were giving me more drugs and more drugs and more drugs and more drugs. I woke up every morning and they gave me pills in a glass, and like I said before, I did not know if I could say no. And nobody talked to me, we're gonna up your doses, or we're gonna give you more drugs to make you feel better, or anything like that. I was just given more drugs, and I just took them. because I was 18 and I was scared. One of the worst things that happened to me while I was in there, because I had this, inner feeling, that I was scared and I was alone and I didn't know who to talk to. I did not talk to a psychologist while I was in there. They asked me if I wanted to go and paint, that helped some people. I've always hated painting, but, if it helps someone, that's great. But one of the worst things that happened to me while I was in there, I was fast asleep one night, and I woke up to screaming and shouting. There was a woman there that was being brought in by the police, and I, of course, went out of my room to see what was going on. And I saw the way they treated that woman. It still kind of, affects me today, even to think about it. They forced her. They shot her down. Not like with a gun, but they gave her a shot. They took her down. They dragged her away, and I stood there 2 months after turning 18, so scared. And that made my idea stronger that I could not say no to anything. They're going to do that to me if I don't do anything they tell me to do, which, really scared me even more. And when I woke up the next morning and I was like trying, to get some information without, asking too much because I was scared, and nobody talked to us. We all woke up that night when that woman, when they were treating that woman that way, and no one talked to us. There was just like, nope, that happened. And, it was like I didn't have any rights to know. But when I woke up that morning, that woman had gone, which scared me even more. Where did she go? Where did you put her? I later found out that, she just went home. Maybe because she knew that she could go, like I didn't know. That is, I'm not gonna make it, very long. That is a very short version of my experience in dealing with a system that didn't help me when I needed it the most. So yeah, thank you.